Welcome to Potty, your daily briefing, AI tech news, March 06, 2026. All right, diving straight in today, we're unpacking some of the hottest stories in AI and tech, starting with the visual upgrades in GPT models, then moving to that game-changing partnership between Anthropic and Mozilla, and wrapping up with a look at the QN35B A3B model's performance in real tests. You know, it's fascinating how these advancements are pushing boundaries, so let's get into it without wasting any time. I'll break down what the sources are saying and what it means for the bigger picture, keeping things engaging and straightforward as always. First up, let's talk about the differences between GPT 5.2 and GPT 5.4 based on that Reddit discussion from the Singularity subreddit. From what I can tell, GPT 5.4 is making some notable improvements in how it handles visual elements, especially in builds on Mindbench. The source highlights that GPT 5.4 creates much more natural curves and bends, something that first appeared in GPT 5.3 codecs, while GPT 5.2's outputs look more polygonal and less smooth. I mean, that's really interesting because it shows how quickly these models are evolving. Oh, and it's not just about looks. This could enhance user experiences in creative or simulation tasks. Let me think, if we're seeing these refinements, it might mean future iterations could handle more complex visuals with ease, making AI-generated content feel even more realistic and integrated into everyday tools. You know, when I read that GPT 5.4 is building on these visual aspects, it got me wondering about the broader implications for industries like gaming or design. The source doesn't go into specifics beyond the Mindbench tests, but it's clear that this step up could make AI more reliable for tasks involving spatial awareness. That's wild because just a few versions ago, these models were struggling with basic geometry, and now we're talking about natural flows and bends. I was going to say it might even inspire developers to experiment more, like integrating this into apps for architects or artists, which could speed up prototyping and innovation. Overall, it's a reminder that AI isn't standing still, it's iterating fast, and that's genuinely exciting for the tech landscape. Shifting gears a bit, this ties into how AI is becoming more sophisticated, but let's not overlook the potential challenges. After all, as these models get better, we have to ensure they're being used responsibly. From the source, it's all about those visual enhancements, so I won't speculate beyond that, but it does make me think about testing protocols. Okay, so basically if you're following AI news, keep an eye on how these updates play out in practical applications because they could redefine what's possible in digital creation. Alright, that's my take on GPT 5.4 for now. Let's move on to the next story. Next, we're looking at Anthropic's partnership with Mozilla, which has already yielded some impressive results in security testing. According to the Reddit posts linking to Anthropic's news, their collaboration helped Claude Opus 4.6 identify 22 vulnerabilities in Firefox within just 2 weeks, including 14 high-severity bugs that made up about a fifth of Mozilla's high-severity fixes for 2025. Oh, that's actually really significant because it demonstrates how AI can supercharge cybersecurity efforts, catching issues that might otherwise slip through. I mean, think about it. Traditional methods can be time-consuming, but here, an AI model is pinpointing critical flaws efficiently, which could lead to safer software for everyone. This isn't just a win for Mozilla, it's a broader signal that AI-powered tools are becoming essential in defending against digital threats. What stands out to me is how quickly this partnership delivered results. 2 weeks for that many high-severity fixes is unheard of in the security world. The source emphasizes the specifics, so I'm not adding any extra spin. But it's clear this shows AI's potential in proactive vulnerability hunting. Let me think. If companies start adopting similar approaches, we might see a drop in exploits and better protection for users worldwide. That's genuinely encouraging, especially in an era where cyber attacks are on the rise. Oh, and it highlights the value of these tech collaborations. I was going to say, though, we should watch for how this scales. If it works for Firefox, could it apply to other browsers or even operating systems? It's a step forward that could reshape industry standards. Digging deeper, this partnership avoids any speculation about job impacts or unrelated topics, sticking to the facts from the source. So, essentially, it's about AI enhancing human efforts rather than replacing them, which is a positive narrative. I find it fascinating how models like Claude Opus are being fine-tuned for specialized tasks, and this success story could encourage more cross-industry partnership. That's really interesting because it bridges the gap between AI research and real-world applications, potentially making the internet a safer place. All right, moving on. But let's remember this as a benchmark for AI and security. For our third story, Let's check out the quick test of the QN35B A3B model from that Reddit post in our local llama. The user shared how they used OpenWebUI's new Open Terminal feature to give the model a low-quality image and ask it to find a ring. And wow, it not only analyzed the image but understood the exact position and even used tools to interact with it effectively. That's wild, because it shows the model's capability in visual analysis and tool usage going beyond just text responses. I mean, in the test, QEN35B-A3B pinpointed the ring accurately, which is a big deal for applications in image processing or even everyday tasks like object recognition. This kind of performance could make open source models more competitive with proprietary ones, opening up possibilities for developers and hobbyists alike. Building on that, the source doesn't delve into comparisons with other models, so I'll stick to what's reported, but it's clear this highlights strengths and multimodal capabilities. Okay, so basically, if you're into AI development, this could be a game changer for integrating vision and action. That's really interesting, as it pushes the envelope on what open source AI can achieve, potentially inspiring more tests and improvements. In the end, stories like this remind us that AI progress is happening at a grassroots level, not just in corporate labs. Wrapping things up, we've covered the visual leaps in GPT 5.4, the security wins from Anthropic and Mozilla, and the promising tests with QEN35B, A3B, each showing how AI is advancing in practical ways. It's clear from these sources that we're in an era of rapid innovation, with implications for everything from creative tools to online safety. I was gonna say, keep an eye on how these developments unfold, as they could shape the future of tech in unexpected ways. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, stay curious about the AI world. Until next time, this is Sam signing off. One last thing before we go, if you have thoughts on these stories or want to share your own AI experiments, drop a comment or reach out. Community input keeps things fresh. All right, that's a wrap for today's briefing, packed with insights and excitement. See you tomorrow for more.